Let's bring in NBC White House correspondent Geoff Bennett now with reaction to last night's dueling events. And Geoff, let's start with the president there in Miami, pressed on QAnon, pressed on white supremacy, pressed on whether he would, in fact, accept a peaceful transfer of power if he should lose the election. What did we learn last night from President Trump that we did not know before? And do we surmise that any hearts and minds were changed?
Well, I'll tell you what, Craig, President Trump last night was characteristically combative. He was sparring with Savannah. He was embracing controversial conspiracy theories. In terms of what we didn't know before last night, I think there were a couple of takeaways that are certainly going to drive the headlines in the coming days. First, the president's refusal to directly disown QAnon, that conspiracy movement. His repeated claims that he's trying to protect pre-existing conditions and offer some sort of health care plan, even though his Department of Justice right now is suing to end Obamacare, and there is no Republican health care plan right now of which to speak. You got his apparent admission that he does owe some $400 million to creditors, as the New York Times reported, although the president wouldn't say directly to whom. And then he was also touting his handling of the coronavirus, saying that COVID-19 is turning a corner, even though we're 7-8 months into this pandemic and we're still seeing spikes in certain states.
Let's talk about Joe Biden for a moment. A lot of people seem to believe he had a more smooth night, if you will, but he refused to give a straight answer on what everybody is talking about these days. It's known as court packing, meaning whether or not he'd add more justices to the Supreme Court, saying it depends on how it goes. What does he mean by that? And will he give a formal position before Election Day?
Yeah, it's a great question, Chanel. And Joe Biden, former Vice President Joe Biden last night said he would make clear his position before Election Day. And the reason why he's cagey about this, he says, is because if he makes clear where he stands, he says all the coverage will focus on that and not on Judge Barrett's nomination. And when he says we'll see how it goes, it depends on how it goes, he means it depends on how Republicans handle the confirmation. But again, he says before Election Day, he'll make clear where he stands. But he said before, he does not see himself being in favor of expanding the 9-justice bench.
Geoff Bennett, our man at the White House. Geoff, thanks so much. Next week, the candidates face off in their final debate before Election Day. This one moderated by our own Kristen Walker. You can watch NBC News coverage starting Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern.